Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for the Vicky Boutin design team, and I'm very excited to show you this project because it comes together super fast. It's super mixed media application and I love what it looks like. And the same idea that I'm going to create my background is pretty much the same that you can create your layered butterflies. So I'm going to show you two simple ways to add mixed media. So I'm going to start with the foundation paper, and the inspiration for my background are actually the alphas from the Storyteller collection. So what I'm going to do is I want to create a strip of mixed media on my paper. For that, I am measuring a 4 1/4 inch strip. I'm going to measure 3 inches from the top of my layout, and I'm going to use masking tape to just mark the line, and then I'm going to leave around 4 1/4 inch. So I'm going to mark the next line is going to be at a 7 1/4 inch from the top of my layout. And again, I'm going to use a piece of masking tape. This is painter's tape actually, to just mask the area. Now, even though I'm masking and this is strong tape, some of the watercolor is still going to seep underneath. Now, if you know of any other paper, like, masking that is gonna leave me, give me a clean impression, let me know, because I'm always looking for a good one. But make sure that whatever you're using to protect the area, you can use washi tape. You're still gonna have a little bit of seepage. Washi tape might have been a better idea. I just wanted something really wide, try to protect the paper, but go ahead, use whatever you feel comfortable with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a ghost impression, the same as that you see in the alpha. I'm going to create it on my little strip. For that, I am using, this is a Bo Bunny stamp set. I think Vicky had it on the shop, I'm not so sure, but I had it in my stash. And I'm using watering can archival ink, so it's a soft gray color. And you're gonna see that I'm adding the ink onto the stamp. I'm cleaning some parts of it with my finger because I don't want that block impression. I had it in the first one that I created, didn't like it, so I'm cleaning some areas. And I'm gonna stamp my image once, and then whatever ink is left over on the stamp, I'm gonna stamp it twice. And I don't want to completely cover the strip, just some areas. Because this dries right away, is archival ink, I'm actually gonna come in with archival ink. This one is black, and the sentiment from Vicky's Storyteller collection, and it says some kind of wonderful. This comes in Vicky's stamp set. So all I'm doing is just adding that sentiment. Again, I'm gonna stamp it once, and whatever ink is left over, I'm gonna stamp it next to it. And I'm gonna make sure, you're gonna see when I stamp, I'll create a little triangle with my stamping. That's just gonna bring the focus to the center of the page. Now here's the fun part, because like I said, I want to create that ghost effect on the background. I'm actually gonna apply gesso to some areas. So I am using just a thick brush, and I want a flat brush and something that has harder bristles. Like the watercolor bristles are really soft. This is more of an acrylic brush, so it's gonna give me the harshest lines, and I want that just because I want to fade the background with a little bit of distress. So all I'm doing is a little bit of gesso, and I'm just gonna literally paint some of the areas, especially the ones when I have the darker application of the ink, just to fade the background. Set it aside to dry, and I'm ready to go. Now you gotta keep in mind that I'm trying to keep my mixed media confined just to that strip that I masked. So be sure, like, if you're gonna do this, that you don't, at best, because we're not perfect, that you don't go outside the masked areas. So just keep that in mind. So what I'm gonna do is super, like I said, I promised you, super easy ways to add color onto this area. All I'm going to stay is within the colors, warm tones. I'm going to stay with browns, not browns, but like ochres, a little bit of orange. I'm going to use orange, ochre, the fuchsia crayon, the red crayon, the maroon crayon. These are from the neutral and the warm set. I'm not using anything from the cool set. Not now, it may be later. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to scribble the crayon on a piece of acetate. I'm gonna dilute it with a bit of water, and then literally I'm gonna transfer the pigment with my brush onto the paper. Simple as that. You can use the kissing technique if you want to, go ahead. I just wanted to be careful not to to confine the mixed media. So moving it with the brush is an easier way for me to keep it clean. Now, two things that you gotta keep in mind. Whenever you're gonna see that when I hit the edges that are close to the masking tape, I try to clean it with my finger. I don't want to have liquid sitting there because I know it's gonna seep under my masking tape. So that was one thing. The second thing you're gonna notice is that when I applied my pigment from the acetate onto the page, I am not using my brush in a vertical way. What I mean by that is I'm going kind of on a slant so that the bristles of the brush are not hidden in a perpendicular molded paper. Instead of hitting the paper on a slant, so it's gonna create a softer application of the watercolor. It's gonna give you a more of a, think of it as creating clouds of watercolor on the page. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm creating clouds of different colors of watercolor that are gonna mix together. Simple as that. So another thing that you're gonna see here is that whatever color I start with, I paint my first area. You're gonna see that I create kind of a soft zigzag on the paper. The second application, I'm gonna build my color on whatever pigment I had left behind. That's just gonna create a soft transition of the colors, and when I apply them onto my paper, they're gonna nicely fuse together. That is it. And I'm literally gonna cover all the area of the that I masked, which is these little clouds of watercolor. That's what I call them. Simple as that. There's some areas that I'm gonna go with a deeper color. I'm just gonna work. As long as I cover everything, I'm gonna be careful not to let the water sit at the edge of the masking so that doesn't seep underneath. And one of the reasons why I'm using the brush is because I want to keep it as confined as I can to the little strip. But I am gonna show you how you can create the same look with a brayer, but you will have to mask more of an area if you want to keep it clean. So I'm just gonna continue adding the color. You're gonna see that to finish this, I'm gonna add a few splatters and also just those big splatters onto the page, and I'm gonna set it aside to dry. And while that is drying, I'm gonna start working on creating the layer butterflies and showing you another way that you can add your watercolor onto same idea, but in a faster way. But you're gonna have to be a little bit more careful, just because when we apply the color with a brayer, you will have to mask the area. You have to be more careful of how you mask the area, so you don't have the color seeping outside of the little strip that we're trying to create. So I'm just gonna set this aside to dry, and I'm gonna come in to show you the next part. And for this, we're gonna use just regular cardstock, and I'm actually gonna use Vicky's stamp set. This is the one from the Storyteller collection. I'm actually gonna use the dice and the butterfly stamps. So I'm starting, like I said again, simple piece of cardstock. I'm gonna use the same color of art crayons that I used before. I'm gonna scribble them on a piece of acetate. I'm gonna dilute them with water, and instead of going with my brush lightly, I'm gonna use my brayer just to move the color from the acrylic sheet onto the cardstock. Just whenever I add the color, I'm gonna roll it on top of the previous one. That's about it. You're gonna see that you're gonna have the same effect. It's gonna be a little bit more on a distressed look, but it's gonna be a faster application, a thinner application. Now the only thing, like I said, if you want to create your watercolor strip onto your background using this method, just be careful to mask like more of the page, so that when you add it with the roller, you don't hit the other part that's gonna stay white. That's only if that's what you want to create. Like I said, I'm just showing you what I did. Hopefully it inspires you to create something. So to create my layer butterflies, I'm actually gonna use vellum for the top part of the butterfly. So all I did is I cut a piece of vellum, I added anti-static powder. I'm gonna use Vicky's metallic inks, the ink pad. This is already oh my god, it's not produced anymore. So if you have it, it works great for embossing, but if you don't have it, then use any ink that you'll be able to emboss onto the vellum. So think about Distress oxides are easy to emboss with, or an embossing ink. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the 2 sizes of the butterfly stamps, and then I am actually gonna stamp them in black, gold, and rose gold, and I'm using clear powder to create that embossing look. So I'm just gonna show you the black. I'm gonna come in back with the gold and the rose gold, and I'm gonna use, like I said, clear embossing powder, just to create that that look, you know, of the embossed on the butterflies. And whenever you emboss on vellum, you just gotta be careful. Regardless of what you add to vellum, the vellum is gonna curl. So one of the things that you have to keep in mind is you cannot put your heat gun really close to vellum because you're gonna burn it. So be careful with that. And it's gonna take you very little heat to emboss. You're gonna see that I'm going on a slant with my heat gun, just quickly hitting the butterflies, and they're gonna get that nice you know, that liquidy look of an embossing powder. Gonna set it aside to dry for a little bit, just to cool off, and I'm gonna take my dies, I already have them ready, to my die cutting machine, and when I come back, we're gonna put all of this together. So you're gonna see I'm gonna slowly, carefully take out the masking tape. You can see right there how I have those little tiny drops that kind of seep underneath the masking tape. They don't bug me. I wish I could have a cleaner application, and that's what I said. If you know of any like good masking tape that's gonna give me that super clean application, leave me in the comment and I'll be forever thankful, because I'm always looking for one. Haven't found the perfect one yet. It always have seepage for me for some reason. So like I said, I peeled it off, and I think I need to bring a little bit more, extend a little bit of the watercolor or the background, just because my pictures, I had the idea of just keeping them in the middle, but I want to have them a little bit of movement, so I'm going to have them a little bit outside of the strip. So for that, I am bringing, this is one of the stencils from the Storyteller collection, and I am mixing a bit of art crayon on my palette. I am using the peach crayon, a little bit of that ochre tone with a little bit of the gray, and the gray is just gonna kind of bring it out, make it a little bit darker, so it's gonna stand out on the watercolor background. So all I'm doing is just, like I said, scribbling the crayon on the piece of acrylic. I'm gonna use one of my stenciling brushes, go on a circular motion on the acrylic page just to pick up the art crayon, and then I'm gonna go on a circular motion on top of the stencil, on top of the watercolor, just to create the impression. And you're gonna see that I'm just gonna add it just to the center, and a little bit to the top right, and a little bit to the bottom left, just on the center of the page. I just want a little bit of the application, of the impression in this case, to kind of peek underneath the pictures and to peek on the top of the pictures. I just want the little hints of that. I don't want it to overtake the page. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it as clean as I can, the mixed media just in the focal point right in the strip. So I'm just extending that little impression just a little bit outside of the line, just so they peeks from behind the pictures. So here's the fun part. I am going to use actually like 4 layers of paper to back my pictures. I'm starting with a blue piece of paper. I pulled a 6x8 paper, but the paper that I'm using, actually, let me just pull out the name. I had the list here. Is from the patchwork paper. I am pulling that as the first layer behind my picture, just so it makes them stand out. Then I'm gonna use a piece of paper from the medley paper, one from the memoir paper, and a piece from the mariposa paper. Those are gonna be the 3 more layers of paper that are gonna go behind the picture. You're not gonna see them, they're just little pieces that are gonna show, but it has the same colors that I have on my background. That's why I started with a piece of the navy behind the picture, so it's gonna make it stand out, and then the other ones are just gonna help me bring that distress and create a separation between the background and the photo. I am gonna add a little piece of foam adhesive between the layers just to give it some height, and then I'm gonna glue it straight onto the center of my layout. Once I have that in place, I'm gonna start working on layering the butterflies. So you're gonna see that I took my butterfly, I'm gonna slightly fold the wings up, and then glue it in the center. That's all it's gonna take. But I want to create kind of a path for my butterflies to go through the layout. So for that, I'm going to cut a little slit at the bottom of the page. You're going to see, and then I'm going to fold the edges up. That's going to create a little triangle opening, and I'm going to back that area with a piece of the Mariposa paper, and I added a piece of washi tape just because it has that navy with gold that I have on the layout. Just gonna cut it, keep it in place, and then I staple my little edges actually together just so they don't move. I'm gonna do the same at the top, just a different kind of fold. The one I gave a little bit different, and I'm gonna bring this paper, and I think this paper's name, and I know Vicky likes this paper, is the one that has all the strips of paper that have been ripped. And I had a piece left over from a previous project. This is the plot paper, and I just picked the area that had some blue and some pink, just backed it up, and I'm gonna add my butterflies. Before I do that, I'm actually gonna add my title, and my title is gonna read Grateful, and it's gonna be, I sized it so that it will fit right on the underneath my pictures. So I'm just gonna add it there. Then I added those pieces of the washi tape. It's from the tablet, the sticker tablet. I'm gonna add those little, what do you call them, those little branches on the side. They're coming from the cardstock stickers, and I'm just gonna create little clusters at the top right corner of the pictures, and also right there in the center of the pictures. The rest is gonna be all the butterflies because I have quite a few of them. So you're gonna see that I'm slowly gonna build the butterflies, and I want to have them coming from the slit that I created at the bottom of the layout, then zigzag throughout the page, and so that they finish it at the top slit that I created at the top of the layout. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna pair two of the butterflies, one of the gold ones with the black ones at the bottom part of my layout right at the slit. Then one of the big butterflies is gonna be right at my title, and then I'm just gonna move them. At the top I was gonna add one of those big butterflies, but it was just too big, so instead I decided to change it for two of the small ones, kind of mirror what I had at the bottom. And then you're gonna see, just to end this layout, I'm actually gonna bring quite a few of the stickers from the tablet. I love those little sentiments that come, those little phrase stickers. I can have thousands of them, will never be enough for me. They're perfect to add to journals, to your pictures. So I'm gonna add them right next to the butterflies. Also the washi strips that come in the tablet, again another thing that I can have tons of them, just to go nicely on the paper. They bring that color, that distress that I have already. The only thing you don't gonna see in the camera is that I added my lines of journal between the title and the bottom butterflies, and also that I added a few sprinkles of the watercolor just to create a trail of the butterflies going from the bottom to the top of the page. And that's about it. I love how this turned out. Super simple mixed media. I'm sure you can replicate it if you want to. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Don't forget to check the blog so you can see more close-ups of the layout, how I created the background. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, a pleasure, and I hope to see you soon. Don't forget, if you find out about the masking tape, leave it in the comment. I will thank you. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.